Well, good evening, everyone. This is Jason Boshers. I'm coming at you live on Tennessee Tuesday. Now, the usual gentleman who I'm here with, our esteemed division commander, John Blankenship, he's not able to be with us tonight. So, my partner in crime for this evening is the original Mississippi Mud Dog himself, Harrison Moose Daws. Say hi to everyone, Moose.
Howdy, everybody. That was great. I mean, I don't know if I've had a better introduction than that right there.
Well, we want to welcome y'all to the show. Thank you for coming, and Moose, thank you for stepping in and helping on this. It is so much easier when you have two people that are working on this together because there's a lot of things that go on behind the scene. As I am learning, as I am doing more hosting on this, and I'm learning there's a lot of stuff went on behind the scenes I did not know about. And I appreciate every day Harrison and Connor Moore for everything that they did. But let's start off with our disclaimer. Now, the views and opinions expressed on this broadcast are not those of the SCV, it's GEC, or any division, brigade, camp, or any subsidiaries. The views and opinions that are expressed here are the views and opinions of the person that is expressing them. Okay, now that we got that meanness out of the show, Harrison, I'm going to turn it over to you for a second because I would love for you to talk about our show's sponsors. And folks, the sponsorship is huge. Thank you to each and all of our sponsors. And Harrison, please take a moment and talk about them.
Well, of course, Commander. But I want to, of course, thank Dr. Chris Cummins. He is this season's sponsor. But you can join Dr. Cummins if you go to a little thing called Patreon. And for $80 a month, you can become an official sponsor of the show. And, of course, if you not wanting to have anything, your business, your new book, your camp, or anything like that sponsored, that's fine. You can join the $30 a month merch tier where you get exclusive merchandise that not even me and Connor are getting, just y'all. Y'all will be the only people that get this kind of merchandise. Or if you want to do the $10 tier, we'll get your name put at the end of every episode. Of course, a public thank you when you do join, which actually there's a couple people I just started doing that, so I guess I need to go through the whole list one episode and thank everybody individually. But that's also will be added. And of course, on all the tiers but the Feed a Moose tier, you get exclusive behind the scenes content. Like, for instance, I released a short video today. That was a project that was kind of close to my heart. It's a bit rough around the edges, but I do think it will, of course, get better over time as I learn this new software I'm using for these videos. I think it came out pretty good. Some of the sound effects are a bit too loud. I'm looking at the horse sound effect I put in there that sounds like General Forrest had really gotten in trouble with his horse. But I don't think he got a horse shot out from under him at Shiloh. I don't think so. Could have, though. But no, okay. I was looking at Jason. I needed Jason on that one.
I don't think he did.
Well, it sounds like he did in the video because that horse is loud, and it was supposed to be a horse like just neighing, and it was supposed to go with the sound effect that General Forrest has gotten his men have gotten stuck in the mud. It's not looking good for him at Shiloh. They're going to need to back off and regroup for tomorrow. And, of course, the horse sound effect's a bit too loud. I've had a couple people tell me that. I know, but if you were on Patreon, you would have gotten to see the video first. You actually got to vote on the name of this one. Not a lot of people put up anything that I thought told the story I was trying to tell. So it's The Tale of Two Forests, Part 1. Yes. I will start working on Part 2 almost immediately. I'm going to kind of get through October, and after October, we'll kind of revisit the series. It was written by Stark Miller. The reason the story is so close to me, it is the first story I put in a newsletter that I've edited. And of course, obviously, Forrest and Son, I couldn't ignore the similarities with me and my dad and the time I was transitioning into camp commander, replacing my father as camp commander. So it was a very special story, and I'm very excited that I got to start off with this one. We got 2 more parts left, and they focus exclusively on General Forrest's son, which I think will be interesting.
Yeah.
You would have gotten to see that first. You also get to see, like we do after shows. You have an exclusive show called the Moosehead Book Club, which we'll be doing it again soon, I promise. And so much more that we're hoping to. And of course, if you just want to throw general support, you can do the $2.50 a month Moosehead or Feed a Moose Club. I didn't get to name that. I wouldn't have named it that, but it's like a moose with a corn dog. You'll see it. And so, yeah, please go check us out. And of course, last but not least, scvchat.com, where is a central hub for everything SCV Chat. And of course, if you've fallen off a fence anytime recently, or if you forgot to eat your apple, if you got a giant bruise from where you fell off of a fence, go check out Dr. Chris Cummins. He'll treat you some Southern hospitality and make sure he fixes you up, especially if you got some knee pain. He'll help you out there and make sure that you are at it 100%. So please go check out Dr. Chris Cummins.
Yes, and thank you, Dr. Cummins, for the work that you've done for this organization, as you have been on the committees, on a couple of committees, and for helping sponsor SCV Chat. And while we'll do that, we're going to take a moment to talk about all of the other shows that I'm just going to call it all on the Confederate Network, okay? The Southern Network. This is almost like Southern Independent News, but I hate to call it SIN, okay? But this is like a Southern Independent News Network. We start off with Monday night with SCV Chat, 7 p.m. Central Time. And then we have the Tuesday night show, Tennessee Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Wednesday, we have Look Around Florida, Sean McFall. That's at 7 p.m. Central Time. Then Thursday night, on the first Thursday night of the month, they have Commander's Comments, which would be with our Commander-in-Chief, Walter D. Donnie Kennedy. That is at 7 p.m. Central Time. On the other Thursday nights, we have Look Around the Confederation, 7 p.m. Central Time. Now, that is really an opportunity. Look Around the Confederation. That is an opportunity for a camp, a brigade, a division that is busy out there doing something that they can go and take pictures of their events. They can send them in to scvyouthOutreach@gmail.com. And they could just send a brief description, the people that's in the picture. And that will get you on Look Around the Confederation on Thursday nights, because it is what's going on in the Confederation. This is your opportunity to shine. So if you go to an event, take pictures, write it down, type it up, whatever you need to do, and send it in to us. And we can get that taken care of. And on Friday night, David Pope does a Friends of Douglas Southall Freeman. I know David was here in the chat just a few minutes ago, and I didn't know if David, I think he's going live every other Friday night. David, if you don't mind, if you're still here, pop that up, because David was talking about this. He brought this to everybody's attention. And to me, this is critical. I'm going into I've applied my paperwork, and it's been through the first few steps to go into the Sons of the American Revolution, the SAR, under an ancestor that was wounded at the Battle of Kings Mountain. So that's a big deal. And he has put this up there. Friday night, we will be live with the new episode, The Battle of Kings Mountain. I'm going to have to watch that, because I have an ancestor that was wounded there. So that's a big deal. Now, Saturday night, we don't have a show. That's the only night that we don't have a show, is on Saturday night. But on Sunday night, Hardy on History with Michael C. Hardy. And Michael C. Hardy is a fantastic author. He came and spoke at my local SCV camp this past month in September and did a fantastic job. His book, Feeding Lee's Army in Northern Virginia, is an exceptional book. And I'm reading one of his earlier ones right now because he brought some of his older stuff to sale, and it was the Battle of Hanover Courthouse. And I have started reading that. So I just want to thank all of these other people that are out there, such as Michael C. Hardy, David Pope, Sean McFall, Harrison, Connor, for all the work that they do in putting together these shows, because it is not an easy deal. And it is not something that just falls out of the sky. These things just do not miraculously happen. Somebody has to put effort into making them happen. And even with John being here, John and I will generally go back and forth about stuff. When we started this program 5 years ago, it was, and it's hard to believe it's been that long, 5 years. There was, how are we going to do? What are we going to do? And here we are 5 years later, still doing the same thing. Okay, so how do we make good quality material? And what do we do to keep everything current and up to date with everything? I'm going to go ahead and also put this up about David Pope, because I did mention his Friends of the Douglas Southall Freeman. It is 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we've had a few more of the camps that have showed up from the Tennessee Division, the Savage Goodner camp. Appreciate y'all stepping on here. Lucas Hope. And, of course, the man himself, Mr. Steve Reed from the Battle of Shiloh camp. If you were at the reinterment of Nathan Bedford Forrest, there was a gentleman there, dark-headed, long, black, full beard, had very prominent in the video. That is none other than Steve Reed himself. So thank you for that. Moose, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, sir. Other than I know we've had one division reach out, and I'm gonna steal John's term here. We still don't know what we're gonna go with, but another term he's used is called the SCV Chat Network. But me and Jason, when me, him, and Connor talked about this, when we first started, it was just let's do one show. And as we kind of have grown, and the first example of us kind of stepping out was Look Around. And funny enough, for a long time, Look Around didn't do well in the numbers. Mm-hmm. And I do want to kind of let everybody in on insight. We do treat SCV Chat and its other shows as TV shows. And it kind of got close to Look Around being canceled, being like, there's just not enough interest.
Yeah.
And after it kind of started picking up some steam and it started not rivaling SCV Chat in numbers, the Monday show still produces the most numbers on the show. Yeah. But it started holding its own, and it started getting its own loyal following. And it was at that point, and past Commander-in-Chief Jason Boshers knows this because he was in office at the time. So in just 2 years, we had gotten 2 successful shows. And on top of that, when Jason got in office, he brought it to us that, hey, would y'all like to do Commander's Comments? And so that's a 3rd show. And we were like, wow, Commander's Comments, bringing it on. And we didn't know a name for it. We just have been calling it all for the longest time, just SCV Chat as a brand. Like, wow, that's crazy to think we had 3 shows. And then we it was at a national reunion. We talked to Jason about an idea, and me and Connor had talked about it sparingly, but of a network where you can tune in at almost any time to watch a show and to support a show. And so I know we've had one group reach out to us in the SCV, and I promise you, I'm sorry, me and Connor are just swamped in October. We're on the events committee at Beauvoir. Beauvoir has its biggest event. Hey, that's my plug, called Fall Muster in October, and that's kind of taking us all. You add Connor's great personal news, I'll say, into the mix, and Connor is obviously out of the question for a minute, as well as his work schedule in October with his I do quotes real job is also hectic. So I promise you, when we kind of get into November, to the people that emailed us, we will look at helping you start that and see what we can do to help. And it was just, it was a thought, a long time ago that, hey, what if we did have a network where you could tune in to this network at any time during the day and you were getting something entertaining, something educational, something professional. And so we've been wanting to do that for a while, and then Look Around Florida came. Of course, David with Friday Night Live is in its third season finale already. That's crazy to believe. Of course, Michael Hardy was actually doing this, I think, before we started. I can't remember when Michael Hardy started his, but he's been doing his for a while. And so all of a sudden, we had already covered almost every day of the week in shows.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to tell people, don't let that disdain you. We will find a time slot for you.
Yes.
Because we do want to make this a network. So y'all reach out. We will try to figure something out. We will help y'all get this started, just like we have been helping with Tennessee Tuesday. Sooner or later, me and Connor are probably just going to appear on Tennessee Tuesdays as guests, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
Jason and Tennessee Division Commander John will be able to fully take the reins, and that's what we want. We're not going to super meddle. So, yeah, just let us know if there's any interest. We'd love to do it, and I still can't believe 5 years, 200 episodes just on one show. If you add it all together, we're almost at 500 produced SCV chat content.
Yes. And I want to thank you for explaining it the way that you did. That tells you somebody, the way you explained it, that's somebody who's been in the trenches for a while. And I will say, and I'll go as far as this, I didn't think that we would be to the point to where we are now. And in 5 years, something wonderful has accomplished, because we're going to eventually get to the point that we can have our own library and have our own content on demand. This whole point is to get to where you can't sleep on it's 2:00 on a Tuesday morning, okay? And you can't sleep, you're wide awake. And you're looking at the ceiling and you're going, I thought I remember something about an episode about Stonewall Jackson. And then be able to pull up your phone, be able to go to a network that has been created and look at a show that has been done on Stonewall Jackson. That is where we want to be, content on demand. As you're hearing, 500 episodes. And Tennessee Tuesday keeps on doing, keeps on growing. This other division that has spoken to you about that's great news. It's great news. And let's get a whole bunch of content where, the point of this was, I believe the Kennedy twins, when they were talking about taking back the narrative. And the way you take back the narrative is by what we are doing with this, by creating shows and putting out content. And you think, well, all you're doing on this is you're talking about the other shows that you're having. You're going to cover past events. You're going to cover upcoming events. Well, we're telling you and also showing you that things are going on. Things have happened and things are going to continue to happen. This is an encouragement. And then you have shows like SCV Chat to where you can drill down on one particular item that you want to. The Christianity of Stonewall Jackson, the duty of Robert E. Lee, then you can have a show that is specifically for that. And then let's just be honest, SCV Chat was what kicked it off, and they are the engine that's pulling the train, and there's no doubt about it. So that's just my thoughts. Well, here we are. We've already been talking and been on the air for 22 minutes.
Where does the time go?
Yes, it really does. Do you want to take a quick break here, or do you want me to go into some of these past events and pictures? What would you like to do?
We can wait off on a commercial break. Sorry. Someone, I won't say who, is accessing the SCV chat email. What was the number? Okay. Hey, he's also watching the show, so I can hear him being like, no, stop. All right, I need the number again. I took too long, so I need the number. Text me the number. I see your messages, though. This is just the fun of live television.
Well, this shows you this is live TV, and I'll tell you this. And now Moose and I were talking for the show. When I was commander in chief, I had a gentleman, and I was doing it to make sure I turned my phone down, turn my phone off, because while we were on, I was on commander's comments. My phone come up, and the gentleman called me, and I called him afterward, and he goes, "Yeah, I was just calling you to let you know I'd been watching you on SCV on commander's comments, SCV chat." I said, "Yes, we were live." He goes, "You were live?" I said, "Yes, we don't record them. We were live." And that was the thing that we wanted to do, because they had been recorded before. And we thought, why can't we do these live? And when you do these things live, you have these little small things that happen that actually make live TV very unique, like that right there.
Well, we always wanted to make this entertaining as well. I've used the term Southern entertainment on the show hundreds of times now, probably. And people ask me, what does that mean? And it's, we knew, especially me and Connor have done a lot of growing in 5 years, but we knew basically 5 years ago, I was a 21-year-old kid. Connor was in his 20s back then. That's hard to believe. He's also watching, and I'm going to get shot later when I go see him next week. But we were just two young kids, and we wanted to make it professional, but also fun for everybody. I tell everybody, if you want to see a good, serious, produced show, you can check out Commander's Comments, because if you are expecting that from the majority, now we have done some serious episodes when the situation calls for it. I'm not saying that we'll ever, not do anything serious, but most of the time it is a bit goofy, because we felt like that was the best way to breathe life into this and to have fun with it. I mean, people don't realize you're doing 52 episodes a year.
Mm-hmm.
Every week, no matter what you have going on. I have missed weddings. I have missed even a funeral. I was late. I have missed my little brother's games. I have been sick. I've had COVID. I have been in the chair for so long that I had sweated through my clothes, because I used to do this in a small room that didn't have lovely fans that I do now. And again, you're missing stuff. Your friends are inviting you. I know someone in my family has been like, every Monday and Thursday you're booked, so we can't figure out when to do stuff with you. It's a sacrifice, and it's one I'm happy to make, because I think it has brought a lot of people into the organization, has introduced a lot of people to the organization, and it's fun. You have to make it fun.
And I agree with you. Some people have been exposed to the Sons of Confederate Veterans and Southern culture because of this show, and that was the purpose of it. Mm-hmm. One of the purposes of it. This did not have one single thing that we were wanting to accomplish. This has multiple things that we wish to accomplish. And we have been doing a good job of that. And it is just so how many members have you recruited out of it? I don't know. But how many people have watched the shows? How many people have heard of the Sons of Confederate Veterans because of SCV Chat? Okay. It's not tangible to say, okay, we know we've gotten 110 members out of it. We don't have a number to actually show anything like that. But we do know how many people have watched the show. And we do know that many people have had an exposure to the Southern way of life, Southern culture, and the Sons of Confederate Veterans. And the main thing when I started this was for people to be saying our name correctly. And it does happen now. We do get our name said correctly, and that's been a big deal.
I agree more. I remember the first time I went to a national reunion and saw a sign that says, "Welcome the Sons of Confederacy." And I remember I looked at my father and was like, they got our name wrong. And he's like, yeah, that happens. And it was just like, I didn't even think about it until you said it. Yeah, no, I've seen a lot more Sons of Confederate Veterans now. Whenever I go somewhere in public, people have gotten our name right. I do know we've gotten a couple people joined because of the show. I don't have an exact number. I've gotten a couple messages. Of course, some people haven't messaged. Some people have told me in person. And that's been a big honor for me. But you think about this, and I messed with people at the GEC meeting this weekend. SCV Chat has decently good numbers in India. Like, people don't realize we are a worldwide product now.
Yes.
And we reach millions of people a year, and that's not even going into some of the other stuff that we've started broadcasting on, like Instagram is new. Hi, people on Instagram. I know they're watching. I know some people are saying, so happy you'll finally start streaming on Instagram. Of course, now I've always described this as a live television show because a lot of people used to confuse it as a podcast. Some podcasts are filmed like this. Some are just audio, but we're not a podcast. We've went links to make sure we're not a podcast. We wanted to be something different. There was a new wave of television shows coming out in 2020, 2019, and we wanted to be in those categories. But a lot of people asked us if we could become available on podcast platforms. And ironically, that did open the door to in the India market. I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. Looky here. See, thank you, Al.
Thank you, Al. That means the world to me.
Yes, it really does. I can remember us sitting in Jacksonville talking about this show. I just gotten elected LTCIC, and was talking about showing this show and backing it and putting some money to it, and because it is part of recruitment and retention. That was the way I saw it. One of the things that the Lieutenant Commander in Chief is responsible for is two things that they use in the same sentence but are very different. One is recruitment and another one is retention. First of all, to recruit, you have to be something that somebody wants for somebody to want to be part of your organization. And retention is you continue to be something that somebody wants to be part of, or to the point they're willing to stay around. In other words, you have to let people see what kind of organization you are and let them decide if they want to continue to put their time and their resources toward this organization. And so I saw that as, okay, this is recruitment. This is getting our name out and getting it out. So a little bit of my recruitment budget went toward this. And to actually see Al say that lets me know that we did the right thing. And how many people have seen these shows, Moose? Over 1 million?
Just last year, 1.6 million, I believe. I know it was close to 2 million last year. I'm drawing a blank on the number, but I'm pretty sure it's 1.67 area.
Okay. Yes.
The year before that, it was 1.2 million. Year before that, 70,000. Year before that, 600,000. And the first year was we couldn't believe we got 420,000 people, and we have successfully almost doubled our reach every year.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what's important. Yes, that's what And thank you, Al, for letting
Yes,
us
thank
know
you.
that. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Uh, we've been on the air about 32 minutes right now. Do you want to play a commercial or do you want to continue on?
We can play a commercial and we can jump in because I know y'all do have some news to talk about and
Yes,
some
we do.
looking like some awesome events that, man, I'm jealous of. I want to see them in Mississippi a lot. My favorite time of year starts from October, goes all the way until like the end of February, and so I'm loving the October themed stuff I'm seeing. So we'll jump back into it in a second. Of course, I already did the sponsor talk, but of course, please, if you're feeling some knee pain, if you've fallen off a fence, if you just haven't eaten your apple and you need to go see a doctor, you won't find a better one, in my opinion, than Dr. Chris Cummins. He'll treat you right with some Southern hospitality, get you on your way, and especially if you're feeling some knee pain, he'll make you feel good again. And we want to thank him for sponsoring the show, and we'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost. Stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Whew.
Yeah. Yes. I how many years ago has that been now since your daddy recorded that?
It's going on a bit. It has to be at least 3,
21. Well, let's see.
4.
I was CIC from 22 to 24. And I believe he did that when I was LT. So it would have been 21, I think, is when he did that. And if you'll notice, the grave sites for Forrest and them hadn't been dug yet. So this was before the reinterment. So imagine what that is going to be like when that is finished and the whole plaza is restored. And folks, it's coming together. I'm really hoping to have some news as soon as we can get it. I mean, we're waiting on other people, but we're talking to people, still getting updates, and yeah, we're close to getting this done. We're close to getting that done. But when that gets up, think about top of Forest Head, 21 feet in the air nearly. Think about that plaza, 50 feet wide, 75 feet deep. The lighting that's going to go on around it, the walkways, the flagpole, all of that is going to be playing a factor into all of this. So And can you imagine that being reshot? You know, when that video starts and that reveal, and you know, the sun is setting in that video, and we caught it at that right time to where we start at that hill and you come up, and you know, we're flying a drone. And when you come up and you have that reveal, the very first of that video where you see the home and the sun setting, can you imagine that setting right behind Forest when that is set? You know, when that video is done. I mean, and that's what I'm seeing in my head right now. So, yes, I think we ought to redo that video. And somebody else can write the next script. I wrote that script. And the only thing that they added to the script was there at the very beginning. I mean, excuse me, at the very end. At the very end, when they said, "Come and discover your history." That was the only part that was added. Other than that, it was taken word for word. And I'm going to turn all of that into Adam. I found it where I've wrote it, typed it, wrote it, scribbled on it. And I think it is 7 pieces of paper to actually get the thing written out the way that I ended up sending them. So, yes. If you want to now, I'll get quiet and we'll talk about some of the past events that have happened. Let's see. We'll start with the Bradford. I tell you, Denise, do you want to pull them up and just have me talk about them, or you want me to pull them up?
Oh, yes, sir. I can bring them up. Let me just scroll up.
Because I don't mind doing it.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll help you out. I remember how it is.
Oh, yes. Okay. This was talked about last week on the show when we had Jordy Bardette on here, and he was talking about the Bethesda Church and giving you the history on that. That is going to be coming up in a couple of weekends. You know, today's the 7th, so you're looking at not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Go and support this if you're in that neighborhood, if you're in that area, because this is, like it said, the proceeds go to the preservation of the church. And the church was there during the time of the war. So, Moose, whenever you're ready, you can move on. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Tennessee Division reunion. April 17th and 18th, Morristown, Tennessee at Morristown Landing. Did you get both of those pieces, both of those pages, or just the one? Because that's fine if you didn't. No, that's fine. You can just go back to that one. You can see registrations coming up, and it actually covers quite a bit. Talking with the Mike Beck, who is past Tennessee Division Commander, they set this up to be an all-inclusive price. Instead of saying, okay, you're going to pay this for this, and I'll do it this way, everybody can say, pay for this, and then this, and then this. They're just doing an all-inclusive. So if you go and you pay attention to the dates, because early registration ends March 15th. So there will be no on-site registration or late registration will be accepted. You're going to have to register by March 15th. And that is due to all of the catering that is done. And if you've put one of these on, you do understand the necessity of having accurate numbers for catering. Because when I hosted it, the Tennessee Division in 24, our camp hosted it, Sam Watkins Camp 29, we hosted it. We had a lot of people just show up. And, you know, that really, you really have to plan. Now, you plan on that many people showing up, and then they don't show up, and you have a lot of leftover food. So getting their registration in really helps getting everything settled. So if you want to, you can move on to the next one, whatever makes you happy. Moose, yes. Captain Champ Ferguson. Yes, November 29th, 2025, 10 a.m. at the France Cemetery in White County, Tennessee. This is being hosted by the Champ Ferguson Standing Stone Camp 2014. And this is the 204th birthday celebration honoring Captain Champ Ferguson. If you don't know the story, you can go to TennesseeSCV.org and look it up on it, or you can just start reading about the man. There's several good articles and all that, but best place to start, TennesseeSCV.org. and that'll help you start finding out about this man if you didn't know him. I have been to that cemetery. Enjoy the drive. and go support that event. Okay. Oh, now we're starting to get into the Sam Davis home. Okay, the Sam Davis home. There's a whole lot of interest, and we get into. I do tours at Elm Springs. Okay, and on these tours, almost always get asked, "Is the home haunted? Is the house haunted?" People seem to be very interested in that. Of course, we have the ghost people that come and they've been spent time in the house. And we've also had the same thing happen at the Sam Davis home. And this is a History After Dark event. I don't know if you can read it, so I'll read this to you. Ever wonder what goes on inside one of the most historic homes in Middle Tennessee once the sun sets and the darkness descends? Isn't that a great capture sentence right there? This fall, find out for yourself. Walk the dimly lit hallways and hear stories of the tragic and haunting past, and go to the Davis Family Cemetery by lantern light. Tours begin at 7 p.m. It is going on October 24th and 25th and on Halloween night. I'm going to go back 9 years ago. We did one of these, and we were out there, and to actually go to to Sam Davis's grave on them, because you realize, Sam was captured November 20th. He was hung November 27th. So you're looking, this was, getting real close to the time that we lost Sam. And to actually go to that gravesite during that is a very haunting deal, and to know the rest of the family that was there. So, yes, please go and support the Sam Davis home, because this goes for the Sam Davis home. And keeping the home up takes some effort.
Yeah.
All right, here's another History After Dark. This one is a Curious Christmas. Now, this is going to be on the first Saturday in December 6th at 7 p.m. And you're actually going to hear the story of how Christmas was different prior to the 20th century. It was celebrated differently. In the 19th century, Christmas was a holiday with customs and traditions that may seem very unusual and foreign to us. Children shared eerie ghost stories at parties. Fortune tellers foretold the future, and boys lit firecrackers and shot guns on Christmas morning. So Christmas is a little bit different now than it was in Victorian days. So that's just another deal that the Sam Davis home is putting on, trying to get people there, get people knowing about the site, get people interested in the site. All right, now this is some of our camps who have been busy. This is the Bradford Rose, Camp 1638 out of Morristown. Jordy Barnett, who was on here as a guest last week, was the one that sent this in, and they were at the Granger County Fall Festival. If you look at this picture and the next picture, you will see how they were set up, promoting Bradford Rose, promoting the home over there, the Longstreet House, and just promoting the Sons of Confederate Veterans. You'll see that wonderful yard sign out front of scv.org. And I want to thank the Bradford Rose Camp and all of these camps for getting out and doing all of these activities and supporting our organization.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. All righty. Now, Gainsboro Invincibles. Some of you have seen Rich Garcia on here. He's on here quite often talking. He's with the Gainsboro Invincibles, Camp 1685, and the State Order of the Confederate Rose, the Aunt Polly's Highland Roses, Chapter 10. They had a Heritage Promotions. We know that Heritage Promotions is being pushed heavily, as we know our Chief of Heritage Operations and our Commander-in-Chief are talking about a Heritage Promotions officer in each camp and in each brigade and in each division. And Heritage Promotions has really been kicked off by two gentlemen here in Tennessee. One of them is Rich Garcia. Another one is Sean Hill. Sean is just both of those men are doing a fantastic job with that. And they set up at a fall festival in Gainesboro. And they just recruited, talked about the Sons of Confederate Veterans. And he says on here, Tom Wood, Nancy Wood for helping. And he talks about Gloria and Don Heeman-Toller and David and Lydia Daniels and all these people that helped to contribute this. And I want to mention their names, Rick and Diana Scott, Timothy Garcia. The reason why I want to mention their names is you realize it takes more than just one person to make this happen or two people to make it happen. To keep from burning everybody out on this, the more people that participate and the more people that promote these, the better off that we are. So I want to go ahead and thank them for that, and for the Gainesboro Invincibles, Camp 1685, and Aunt Polly's Highland Roses, Chapter 10, for getting out there. And show the next picture. I believe I have a picture of them standing around there. Yes. The gentleman on the far left is Rich Garcia. David Daniels is beside him. The gentleman on the far right, the one wearing the Hollywood sunglasses and the big brim hat, that's none other than Tom Wood himself. Yes, so these men get out and doing this. What'd you say?
That is a fantastic picture of Mr. Wood.
Yes, going to start calling him Hollywood if he's going to dress like that. Okay, now this one, this is great to see. There's two camps that have really stepped up their game, and this is one of them, the Lieutenant Robert J. Tipton Camp, 2083, and they're working with the Military Order of Stars and Bars, Chapter 32, the Senator Hayes and the Captain Brown chapter of the MOSB. They held a memorial service for Lieutenant Robert J. Tipton, and they had a picnic on the grounds. So, you know, you had these two organizations that got together. They remembered their Confederate ancestor, and then they got to socialize together. And I am so proud for the Robert J. Tipton Camp and the Tennessee Society MOSB Chapter 320 for getting together and doing what they did. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate that.
Yes, thank you. Working together works.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And there's a good group of guys. You can see, and I'm going to tell you, all of these were, as you can tell, taken off Facebook. And they were taken off Facebook by Tennessee Division Commander John Blankenship and sent to us. We want people to start sending us this stuff in and writing these articles. But, you know, we're still in that infancy process with developing this. So it's going to be happening over time. But if you have an event, send it in. So many of you know my address, email address, or you can send it to SCV Youth Outreach. But to keep from flooding them, if you want to, you can send it to me or send it to John, and we'll get it all put together. But, you know, I just want to thank them for doing it and putting it on social media, so at least we could take it from social media and talk about what they're doing. Yes.
Amen.
Yes. Okay, now these next two pictures, Jim Davis Camp, 1425. This camp has really taken off. It has really grown. Jacob Inman is their brand new member. If you want to click to the next picture, you can see brand new member just joined this organization. And this camp is really taken off and is really growing. And I'm happy to see them do that. And thank you for get out there recruiting. And thank you, Jacob Inman, for joining the Sons of Confederate Veterans.
Welcome, brother.
All righty. So many people talk about the John R. Massey. If you don't know the story about John R. Massey, and that's another place you can go to TennesseeSCV.org and find out the story of John R. Massey. This camp that is in Fayetteville John R. Massey Camp, 152. They set up at an event in Flintville, Tennessee, the Bear Wallow Marketplace. It's this picture, and I think they have a second picture on that as well, that it shows everything that they have set up, trying to, get interest in the organization. And I tell you, I appreciate those guys getting together and doing that. You can see the backboard they've got put up there, plus the items they have on the table, plus the banner. And I believe that is one of the old SCV tents. You remember when they had the SCV tents? If it's not, it sure looks a lot like it, and it's big and heavy like that. So if it's not, it looks good. And I thank that camp for getting out and doing that. All right.
Thank y'all.
Yes. Oh, and these are some cool guys right here. This camp, the John C. Brown camp, they're actually in my brigade. They're out of Pulaski, Tennessee. If you come to if you come to Elm Springs and you go in, when you go into the ladies' parlor, if you look on the wall, you will see a painting of General John C. Brown. General John C. Brown was wounded fighting around Columbia. He convalesced there at Elm Springs during the war. And after the war, he come back and he paid several visits. He ended up becoming governor of Tennessee. And so he has a very special place to Pulaski. He's buried in Maplewood Cemetery in Pulaski. That's the same cemetery that Sam Davis was buried in after Sam was hung. So he has a special tie to all of this. And this camp, they've doubled in membership in a year and a half. And I'm so proud of these guys. And I want to thank the John C. Brown camp for getting out. Here they're setting up in Campbellsville, Tennessee at the Campbellsville Heritage Festival. And they have set up there in the past, but they're set up now and they're doing a great job. And they have doubled their membership in a year and a half. So if a camp in Pulaski can double their membership in a year and a half, hopefully we can all pick up a member or two over the years.
Amen to that.
Yes, sir. I want to pop about some things that I've seen pop up over here. And this is with Kim Hofecker. And I want to talk about this. This is that Florida Soldiers Monument and 1209. Okay, the Jacksonville boys. These men have done a tremendous amount of work, and they've created the Confederate Park. And they've got a monument they're going to be dedicating. And now it's the middle of next month, but go ahead and plan on going to Jacksonville and be part of that. And I want to talk about the Keller Camp. They will be hosting the Arkansas Division reunion. I looked up their stuff today, and I'm actually looking at going to the Arkansas Division reunion. I've enjoyed any time that I have gone up there and visited with them. Who I was talking to was Chief of Staff J.C. Hanna, and we were talking about these reunions. And there's Floyd Harvey, and I enjoyed visiting with Mr. Harvey. But I want to go back and visit with the Keller Camp because I tell you, they did a fantastic job when they hosted the national reunion. So they did a fantastic job with that. And now they are hosting the one in Arkansas. So that's good. Yes. I just saw that popped up, and I'm going to go and pop this up. Jordy popped this in here that he can't wait when we were talking about the reunion in Morristown. We can't wait either because they're doing something very cool, and I want to remind everybody of this. They are going through the process of putting up a monument and a memorial right now. So, at the Tennessee Division reunion, the plan right now is to have that completed and have that dedicated at our Tennessee Division reunion in April. Now, wouldn't that be cool to dedicate a monument at a division reunion? I want to thank the boys up in Morristown, Bradford Road, 1638. Appreciate y'all. Yes, sir. Do you want to say a few words before we get into some upcoming events?
No, sir, not necessarily. I do want to ask everybody. I know a lot of people sharing events. If you could please send that to us for Look Around the Confederation.
Yes.
Make sure. And I'll be talking about it. Our I won't be talking about it Thursday, but someone will be talking about it Thursday. I have a camp meeting, and I have a guest. Someone will have a guest on as well. So it seems we're going to have a good episode.
Well, in case you're wondering what he's alluding to, it's probably going to be me and John Blankenship hosting Look Around on Thursday night. So sorry, folks, you're going to have to put up with my ugly mug on Tuesday and Thursday. Go ahead.
Just one time, though, everybody. Suck it up for the Confederation. But no, I want to thank Jason. I told him that I did not think before I scheduled everything this Thursday. My camp just recently switched to meeting every month but December. We haven't done that in a while. So we've been meeting on every odd month. So now we're meeting every month, but again, December. So I was getting everything ready, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. I have a meeting I have to run Thursday. So I do want to thank Jason and John for they're going to help and step up to make sure I don't have to worry about Look Around, make sure that it is happening. For those who don't know, there has only been one recorded episode in the 5-year history of SCV Chat. It was on a Look Around where I had to start visiting camps. And so I wasn't able to be there. And now with my camp meeting, y'all will probably not see me anymore on Thursdays, or at least the second Thursday of the month. So I do want to thank at least John will be there with you. John, we brought John on because we realized that, all of us that have been on the show just don't look good. And so we brought John to attract the female audience. In the TV business, that is called playing the demographic. You want to get certain numbers in, and sometimes you just got to hire people that will bring those numbers in. And John was going to bring those numbers in for us. So yes, John will be helping us out.
Well, and John, I mean, he's been in radio. He's got like a 20-year career in radio. I mean, the guy knows how to interview people, knows how to talk to people, got a lot of personality. And, John Blankenship, JB, James Bond, James JB. I'm not sure that there's really any difference between a Blankenship and a Bond, but we'll find out coming up. Maybe that's his alter hero. John Blankenship's alter hero is James Bond. And thank you, Brother Graham, for bringing that up. And it was great seeing you this past weekend. Awesome. There was one thing we did not talk about earlier when we were talking about the Sam Davis home. And I just looked through there and I don't see the picture of it. And that was the upcoming ghost tours. We have ghost tours coming up. This coming 10th, it's the 10th and 11th, which should be Friday night and Saturday night. It's ghost tours at the Sam Davis home. I sent it to you. It was in that email that John sent us earlier. And it was the very last picture in that group. In fact, I could probably pull it up and talk about it from there. But ghost tours. Now, this is actually a really cool thing to do because you'll come at the house and they run from I think 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock, something like that. And you will come up to the house. You'll get a little bit of a house tour. You'll go in. The house is set up kind of haunted and spooky, kind of looking on the inside. It's not set up as mourning. I don't think it is yet. They might have it set up as a house in mourning. I know they do in November. I don't know if they'll have it for the Halloween yet or not. Yes, that's it. There's from 6 to 10, excuse me. And this is, you will go in the house. It's set up for a funeral to look at their mourning customs. And that was the reason why I said 9 o'clock, because that's when the last tour begins. Then you'll get on and go through, get on a wagon and go through the site. So there's a wagon ride that is part of that as well. So you will have it this coming Friday night and Saturday night, the 10th and 11th. and next Friday night, Saturday night, the 17th and 18th. So this is an opportunity for you to come out and to see the haunted again. So we will have things there on the 10th and 11th, the 17th and the 18th, the 24th, the 25th, and the 31st. So there's plenty of opportunities for you to be able to come and see and experience the Sam Davis home during this time of the year. So just and I thank you for finding that and pulling that up, because I realized we didn't cover it and I missed it in the media asset. So I would like to talk about something that is coming up. This Sunday that my local camp is doing, and pictures from this will be on Look Around next Thursday. Mm-hmm. And that is the Sam Watkins camp. We pick 2 Confederate veterans from Murray County, and we put a Southern Cross of Honor on them. We do one in the spring and one in the fall. The one that we're doing here this fall, it is going to be for Captain John Nelson Maroney, Meroney, Captain John Nelson Maroney Sr. And it's going to be at Lasting Hope Cemetery. I want to talk about that because I think it's important for us to go and remember and mark the graves. I know that there's some people who love doing it, and there's some people going, well, yeah, but is it really fulfilling the charge? I don't think there's anything that we can do for them in a positive is fulfilling the charge, because anything and everything we do for them is fulfilling the charge. Plain and simple. Now, maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but anytime that I see some of them and I mark one of them, or I just walk by and lay a flag on it, or if I don't have a flag, to stop at the grave and to say something, or to go to walk and see a memorial that's on a county courthouse lawn or something like that, to stop for a moment and maybe say a 30-second prayer under my breath. Any of these things that we do like that is fulfilling the charge, because we are keeping the memory of them alive. And as Randolph H. McKim said, nothing is ended until it is forgotten. So let's just make sure none of it gets forgotten. So, so us going and doing these, it's an important thing to do. And I'm just mentioning it because my camp does it. It doesn't cost that much to get a Southern Cross of Honor. You can order one through General Headquarters, or better yet, come and see the museum and buy one while you're there and save you on shipping. And that way you can do a memorial service and remember one of them that is in your area. And that's going to segue perfectly into what I would like to talk about concerning Elm Springs. On the first weekend in December, it is December 5th and 6th, Friday and Saturday, there is the Murray County Christmas Tour of Homes. Elm Springs is always on there. And I'm just going to encourage people, that is an opportunity, a Friday and a Saturday. As you know now, I tell you, I did see this in the media assets, and I'm going to pull it up because I want to talk about this. The National Confederate Museum, you can see our hours there. Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're open Monday through Saturdays. Come and pay us a visit, okay? And so we have this Christmas tour of homes. We'll have a lot of people going through the house. I wanted to remind people of this because this is one of those opportunities that we have so many people come through our property. And they see everything that is going on there. And a lot of these people, they're just history people, or they're just people that love to tour old historic sites. Because we have people that come and they don't really care to go in the National Confederate Museum. They want to go through Elm Springs because they enjoy looking at old homes. And they come back to this every year because they want to see what's changed with the house and what it's done. And this is an opportunity to promote our organization. And this is just something else that General Headquarters is doing to help promote the Sons of Confederate Veterans. And there's one last thing that I would like to mention, because we've already talked about the Tennessee Division reunion coming up in Morristown. Yes. I was named a Tennessee Colonel this past weekend, and I want to thank Mr. Eric Pavetti for putting me in for that honor. I am truly blessed. I am a Tennessee Colonel. I am a Kentucky Colonel. And Loy Mock blessed me with being an Arkansas Traveler, which is just awesome. But Mr. Pavetti, I want to thank you for this. Put me in, because that takes an appointment from the governor. And it actually goes through political hands for this to be able to happen. You have to be recommended by a colonel, and you have to be approved by, a representative, and then it has to go before the governor. And I want to thank Mr. Pavetti for going through the process of putting me in for that. Thank you. I am honored. And I'm going to go ahead, and since I just talked about the Sam Davis home, I think Mr. Hoffaker is correct. Visit the Sam Davis home. It is as Sam was there. It is as Sam was there. So go and visit. You will see the rock where he tied his horse. You'll be able to go to his obelisk and his gravesite. And, it's a humbling place to be. Before I forget, I was going to mention, we've already talked about the upcoming Tennessee Division reunion, April 17th, 18th in Morristown. But I want to remind everybody, so many people come to General Headquarters and they hear about the Nathan Bedford Forrest for passing that roof, okay? They want to find out about the Forrest Boyhood Home, especially when they find out that Forrest's grave is pointed 78 degrees east, which is pointing straight at his boyhood home. And that was done intentionally. He's pointed east, and he's pointing 78 degrees because he's looking straight at his home, his boyhood home, which is owned by the Sons of Confederate Veterans. We are going to have, I think this is the 22nd or 23rd year in a row, we're going to have the Forrest Boyhood Homecoming at the Forrest Boyhood Home. Now, it is always the third Saturday in June. So in 2026, it's going to be June 20th. June 20th, we'll have the Forrest Boyhood Homecoming. For people that will say, I'd love to come see that, come on. This is your opportunity. The house is open for tours. There'll be events going on the grounds. We'll have cavalry demonstrations, artillery demonstrations, infantry demonstrations. There's a lot that is going on there at the time. Plus, you'll get to see the building right now that the Tennessee Division Sons of Confederate Veterans is in the process of building. Right now, we're going to be working on the pavilion. When the pavilion is we get that done, we're going to start looking at the rest of the structure. But to have the pavilion open, because we need to have events out there at the Forrest Boyhood Home. And this is an opportunity to have a covered pavilion to host events where we can have tables underneath there. And, let's say that we have a wedding out there, and we have had numerous weddings out there. So let's just say that we have a wedding out there. We have a place to hold the reception and all of that. So, yes. Is there anything you'd like to add?
I don't think so. I think you did a great job tonight covering everything, Commander. I was happy to be on.
Well, anybody have anything else to say? This is your last opportunity. Now, what did you call the plant?
This is Audrey.
Audrey
the plant. I was asking Audrey if she had anything she needed to say.
That is from the Little Shop of Horrors, if I remember correctly.
That's what everybody else is saying. I actually named that was just luck. I named it after my ex-girlfriend that still watches the show. I wanted her to feel welcome, so this is Audrey the Plant.
Audrey the Plant. Well, it is nice that you are so considerate, Moose. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, and thank you. And I really thank you for being on for this. And yes, this show can be done by one. It is so much better when it is at least two of you on here. And as Moose has been doing this for 5 years, he can do it in his sleep. Well, how long have you been on StreamYard now? 2 to 3 years?
Actually, it's been longer. So we switched to StreamYard in season 2.
Okay.
So we had discovered it towards the end of season 1. And if I'm not mistaken, the last couple episodes of season 1 were done on StreamYard. So it's probably come this December will be 5 years on StreamYard as well. Okay.
Well, you've been on there so long, it's probably second nature to you. I'm new to this part of it, although I have helped, but I'm helping with the banners and the comments and things like that. And I'm sitting here looking at all this stuff that's on the screen over here on the side that we have to work through, that brings stuff onto to the screen here. And it really is a production. And when you realize that, what all goes on behind the scenes, it really is a production. And I want to thank Moose for being on tonight. I'm sorry John couldn't make it, and there's going to be times I can't make it. I know on the third Tuesday, I'm not going to be able to make it because that's my camp meeting night. So I'm not going to make the third Tuesdays because I'm going to my camp meeting,
Oh, yeah.
I'm one of these people that love to go to my camp meetings. And see, like him, he just jumped up there and clicked and run that banner right across there to show where we have all of our shows on. And yes, we are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. And we're doing everything. And I think we actually went on Instagram this time as well. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. So for those who don't know, this is actually the first show. SCV Chat hasn't even done this to go live from 4 different places. So you have the SCV Chat, Facebook, our YouTube, and our Instagram, but also, and that's why I'm sharing this out, the Tennessee Tuesday YouTube. And if y'all will help us out and follow the Tennessee Tuesday Facebook, we'll be adding a 5th platform we are streaming on for this show. They will always have a home here at SCV Chat, but we want y'all to be able to find them as easy as possible, hence why they have their own. We want them to be easily found for y'all's convenience. And 2, it helps to have your own library under your control. We understand that more than anybody here at SCV Chat because, sadly, we've lost most of season 1 and part of season 2. Facebook used to keep all of that intact, but now we lost our first year and a half of content. So that's why we wanted to do this the way we're doing it. So, yes, soon it'll be 5, but we need y'all's help to go follow the Tennessee Tuesdays Facebook and YouTube. Check them out over there.
Yes. Sounds like we need to do some more promoting and letting people know about the Facebook side of it because we have a Facebook group and a Facebook page for that. So we just need to promote it to get people out there. But, yes, all we got to do is promote it and let people know. We have been on the air for 1 hour and 15 minutes. I want to go ahead and remind everybody about tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. You're going to have a Look Around Florida with Sean McFall, the Florida man. And on Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time, we will have a Look Around the Confederation, which is probably going to be John Blankenship and myself. Mm-hmm. So make sure that you send anything that's going on into SCV Youth Outreach at gmail.com. And make sure you do that. Make sure that you send it to us. And you see it scrolling across there now. scvyouth@gmail.com. And send us a little bit of information. Make it a little easier on John and I. That way we can, make it as nice as we can make it. I
will say real quick, there is a deadline this Tuesday. So make sure you have everything submitted by 2 p.m. Confederate Standard Time, or it will not be on the show, because I will have to be setting up the show a bit earlier than normal and making sure everything's loaded in, because I'll be dealing with camp stuff for the rest of the day. So please try to submit your news as early as possible to help me out.
Okay. So make sure you have everything submitted to scvyouth@gmail.com by 2 p.m. on Thursday. And that will help ensure that it is loaded and ready to go. Because with that email address, John and I can't check, so that's one thing that we can't do. So appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate everybody being part of this. I talked about look around on Thursday. Friday, we have Friends of Douglas Southall Freeman, David Pope, and he's going to be talking about Kings Mountain, and that's going to be a must-watch episode. Ooh. And then Sunday night, Hardy on History, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Definitely a great show. Then we'll be back on SCV Chat Monday. And next week, John and I are working on that program for next Tuesday. So you'll be getting some more information on that coming out. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate everybody watching. Without y'all watching, without your support, and please remember to go to Patreon and, throw a few bucks this way, because and I know things are tough and I know things are tight, but if you like this programming and you like what we're doing, just what you can do, $10 a month get you in Patreon, $2.50 lets you feed a moose. And he did not get to name that. He is correct. He did not get to name that. So $10 gets you on the Patreon level, and you get to see the back information. And I saw that what he released earlier today about the 2 Nathan Bedford Forrest. And that was, to know what's coming up, to know what's going on. If you like staying in the know and you want your information early, that's Mr. Prevedi politely telling me to sit down and shut up. But I can say, Mr. Prevedi, good evening to you, sir. Good evening to you, Colonel. And he is also a Tennessee Colonel, and he is also a Kentucky Colonel. So good evening, Colonel. And it, see, he did that and I forgot what I was saying, but I just want everybody to know that it takes a little bit to put these shows together. And I thank everybody. Oh, I know where I was. The $10 gets you into Patreon, and you get to see all the behind the scenes stuff. If you like to be on the cutting edge, you will know everything first when you're at that level. Almost everything. It's the really backdoor stuff you will know early.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at $30 a month, you get the merchandise level. I'm at the merchandise level with this because I want to see what the merchandise is. Because when they said that they get the merchandise I get, they can't get, I can't wait to show it to them. This is what this is what you could get. But I want to thank everybody. Moose, do you want to close us out with any final words?
Yes, sir. I would like to remind everybody to please share this episode out, and make sure to email scvyouth@gmail.com, and you'll be featured on the upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation. And next Monday we will have Army of Tennessee Commander Carl Jones on as we continue our Confederate Catechism series. And what is Carl going to talk on, you ask? Well, secession. I'm in the process of also getting guests for next Look Around's episode. As I said, everything's kind of snuck up on me this week, so I am going to double check with the guest for this Thursday. Make sure he can get on. I'll be doing that tomorrow, kind of talking him through it. And then he'll be on Thursday. I know everybody will find it interesting. I'll give a hint. It might backfire on me, but I hope not. It does have to do with a monument. So that's your little hint. I think everybody's going to enjoy the episode. Of course, if you remember how Look Around Guesswork, the first 30 minutes of the show is about the news, and the last 30 minutes is about the guest. So please make sure to share out the promotion when it comes out. That really helps us. And of course, more importantly, share the episode, like and subscribe, and follow us.
Yes. Thank everybody for being here. All I can say is no Fumar in the elevator, Redder Frop, and stay Southern, my friend.
Stay Southern.